A year ago on January 2nd of 2025, we had a house fire at our farmhouse here, and this is what kept it from growing and taking out the rest of our house. So I had woken up at 3 a.m. Was at the time I was sleeping in the loft of our house, and my husband was back in the master bedroom, and my son, who was 17, was in the room at the bottom of the stairs. And I woke up. It was about 3:30, and I heard a thump, like a really loud thump, and then his door just fly open. And I said, "What's wrong?" And he said he could hear me. There's no doors or walls up there. And he said, "There's a fire." Just calm as could be. There's a fire. And I was just like, oh my God. And I said, "Where?" As I'm getting out of bed and starting to move. And he said, "In my room." And so I went tearing, grabbed my phone, went tearing down the stairs, and by his room, I didn't even look inside. Went to the pantry. The kitchen is right there. Went to the pantry where I had these on a hook with this little hole here. So grabbed one of these, and they have two tabs on them and Velcro. That's how they are. So they just sticks out like this, and you can just grab these tabs and yank it. And if it's as long as it's on something sturdy, it will just come out in your hands. And so it's a like a 4x4 piece of fireproof, you know, fabric, heavy duty. And so I grabbed that, went running back to the room. That's the first time I saw the fire, which was his bed was on fire. So he woke up to his bed on fire. It's been a year now, so I can say that and not cry. Still pretty scary. Um, and so I'm 5'7", so the flames were about chest high. So I threw the blanket on the fire at the head of the bed and went running back and grabbed the other one and threw it on the foot of the bed, which is where the two main pieces were. I wish I had had 12 of these things. Shut the door, grabbed the leash. Our dog was right there, and which was I'm grateful for. She shouldn't have been in reality because um, our it, had our smoke alarm all of our smoke alarms had gone off, she wouldn't have been. She would have been hiding somewhere. So, in a lot of ways, we are thankful that that didn't happen because she was right there, and my child was able to get her out of the house. My husband had called the fire department, and he had gone back in with a fire extinguisher to see if he could do anything else, right? And no, you could not. And I did the same, thinking maybe just a couple of squirts. So uh, we all got out. We got our cars out. They're electric. We got our cars out. So any car could catch on fire, of course, and be a huge issue. Electric cars can sometimes tend to stay lit for a while, the battery. So we got those out of there. We live in Apex, North Carolina, and the Apex Fire Department, Cary, and Holly Springs all arrived with multiple trucks and multiple paramedics. And they were able to, get it under control. It mostly stayed on the bed and the bedside table, and they were able to pull the bed out. They had gotten it out and then pulled the bed out. And when they did that, more oxygen got to the bed as they were moving it and pulling it out of the house, and it caught on fire again. And so they got it out into the driveway and put it out there. So that night, we had a fire investigator through the fire department come in and talk about what had happened and kind of, make sure that, I don't know, make sure that it was an accident, I suppose, is probably what they were doing. And he said, "This is what saved our house." And then later we had the our insurance investigator, fire investigator came as well and said the same thing, that this is the thing that saved our house. It had pushed the fire down. They actually had found two black spots on the carpet, blacker spots on the carpet, where these underneath his bed, where these blankets had pushed the fire down in those spaces. And the fire did not reach the ceiling. It didn't reach it should have been able to reach the wall, but the wall was black, but not charred. It was black from smoke. So this is the key. And I think about this now, and I think, had I grabbed a fire extinguisher, I would have been standing in that fire, in that smoke, putting it out. But you can grab these. These are throw and go. You can grab another one, throw it and go it, shut the door, and you don't have to be standing in there breathing or trying to hold your breath in the middle of a fire where you've got all the adrenaline going. There's not a lot of breath holding in the middle of a fire with all that adrenaline going. I'm super, super thankful that we were all okay. We were out of our house for 5 months. The smoke was had gone completely through the house. His room was completely toast and had to be taken down to the studs. And then our entire house had to be cleaned and painted. Everything had to be taken out of our home, and all of that was handled by insurance. Um, Taken out of our home and cleaned, and all that stored. And then they came back and they painted. They sanded and stained our floors, put in new carpet, all that stuff, and then rebuilt his room and his bathroom, from the ground up. But had it not been for this, we would have been out of our house much longer than 5 months. Maybe our house would have burned down, or at least a piece of our house would have burned down by the time they got here. So I am forever grateful to Prepared Hero for their blankets and their ads, which are super helpful to see out there. That, to see how it's done, you literally just pull these tabs and throw it over top. I had them in the kitchen because I just assumed it would be some sort of kitchen fire, some little accident, right? Um, I wouldn't have even thought that something like that could have happened. It was a faulty electrical wire from a phone, like a USB hub that you would put multiple things in. That's what caught on fire. Um, yeah. So thank you for this, you guys, and for the rest of you, go out and buy these. You've got to have these in your house. I have them on both floors now, and in every bedroom, and where else? In the kitchen, in bathrooms. I think I have them maybe in every room. I'm still struggling with a little bit of PTSD. Um, yeah, but go buy these. They are worth it.